By the way, Halloween party on the Mashup Street for unlimited pot still.
There you go.
Come get you some. Every kid walks away with a fifth of it.
Hello, and welcome to episode 39 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Michael, Anthony, and Steven. Hey, guys. Gentlemen, I had an interesting work week last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interested to hear about this?
So Saturday, everything's fine and dandy in the house, and about midday, we lose internet.
Oh.
And so I do the standard, reset the modem, but I notice a red light on. So I decided to call MetroNet, my internet provider. And they're like, the earliest we can get out there is Wednesday.
Oh.
And I'm like, I sounded so defeated on the phone. I was like, oh.
You're like, yeah, Wednesday, that's what we pay you the big bucks for, right? Yeah.
Come on, say Wednesday. Like, seriously?
Oh, I kind of talked to her a little bit, but Wednesday apparently was the earliest. So in my head the whole time I'm thinking, how am I going to do this work thing from home nowadays? Because I don't officially have a spot at work I can work in the office. And so if I don't have internet here, I don't really know what to do.
Is that why I saw Steven sitting with the homeless people at McDonald's on my way to work the other day?
I was trying to get their Wi-Fi password.
He just got that one cup of coffee and refilled it like 20 times.
I'm working over here.
I'm a paying customer.
Come on now.
So I start, I'm outside talking with the neighbors and I bring it up. And so our new neighbors, they decide like, oh, you can use our Wi-Fi. And I'm like, are you sure? And like, yeah. So I was like, that's great. So on Sunday, I go over there with my laptop. They type it in, and it's working over there. So I come home, and my plan is just to sit in the kitchen, on the kitchen table, because that's the closest to their house, I thought. So I sit at the table, and I'm getting like kilobytes per second. I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. So I start walking down the right side of my house, just speed testing, getting nothing. So for the fun of it, I was like, let me just go upstairs in my bedroom, which is the right side of the house. And I started getting real good speeds. But there was one problem. I was in our bathroom.
Nice.
The corner of our bathroom.
Oh, man.
So I go ahead and like, well, this is it. So I go get like a little table, little chair. And I sit there until Wednesday working. Well, the nice part was I really didn't have to leave the room that much.
Well, that's true.
I mean, I could work. I could shower.
That's true.
I could go to the restroom.
You got everything you need right there.
I was pretty much in a cage.
I like it.
Here is your new office. It's a bathroom.
I mean, I think I do a lot of work in there, too, in the bathroom, too.
Yeah.
But not because that's the only place I can get good Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. I mean, I'm the kind of person that has pulled like a stool of sorts into the bathroom and worked while I'm in there. If things are hectic and I need to get away, I have to use the restroom. There I go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody does that. You're not so weird.
Not
I mean, it's weird that you sat in there, but...
Yeah. Now everybody knows that I have worked while...
In the potty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool,
yeah.
That's not cool, is it? But anyway, I'm just trying to connect with
anybody
Steven
who's just judging us right now is lying to themselves. So
that's true.
They've done it too.
Yeah, their phone's never been used in the bathroom.
I was gonna say, come on now.
You got to do it. I mean, when you got things you got to do,
you know how many times I've heard somebody watching a video on their phone in the bathroom at work? Like you go into a store or something. Like come on.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy things there. Yeah, especially over there at the university, there's always like you go in to use the restroom and there's always someone like on the phone.
Oh yeah,
or
those college kids,
whatever.
They're always
like, what the heck is going on here?
That's the worst. The people that answer the phone while they're on the toilet.
Yeah,
in a public restroom.
I don't like answering the phone anyway. I wouldn't do it there, but
yeah.
So when the guy came out, we found out the problem. We have these two little guinea pigs in our house, and they let them out in the room to kind of run around. These are supposed to be class pets that never made it to class. And the little crap head chewed right through my fiber.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's what oh my God.
Because he got, the guy got here before I got home, so he wanted to replace the entire house line. And still wasn't getting anything, he still wasn't getting any readings. And so we came in, And we started looking at the wire at first, and I didn't see anything. But then when we pulled it out, when he connected new wires, sure enough, it was, clear as day. That 90-degree bend in the wire, insulation sticking out, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So maybe you
That's why
should
you keep them in a cage.
Yeah, keep those dang rodents in a cage there. Then you won't have internet problems. I seriously, when you texted the one day and said I don't have internet, I thought that it was because somebody had hacked through the line outside, Everybody gets a little bit crazy with the shovel or a rake or something. The next thing you know, they're hacking through lines, all kinds of stuff. They don't even know what they're doing. And I thought maybe that was it.
No, this was the culprit of it.
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't use the internet really at home for any work. What I get on my phone is good enough, because I'm not on a laptop or anything at home. So,
and what do you mostly?
I probably wouldn't even notice if my internet was out unless Netflix wasn't working or something.
So there's nothing else that you're doing, no browsing that you're doing at home.
Just on my phone, but
yeah. Looking at bourbon groups.
Yeah, well, of course, but and I got good enough signal for that, so cell signal, so I'm good enough for that.
I'm waiting for this picture to load. Oh, it's overpriced.
Yeah. Oh wow, another somebody took a picture of a shelf at Liquor Barn with nothing on it.
So this week, guys, we have a new bottle. Obviously, we have a bottle of James E. Pepper 1776 bourbon.
Oh yeah, going in the backyard for this one. So James E. Pepper Distillery is right here in our backyard in Lexington, Kentucky. So this actually is distilled at MGP. So the actual bourbon in the bottle here is from the Midwest Grain Products in Indiana. And the bottle date is 2021. ABV is 50% and proof is 100. The age on this bourbon is up to 3 years old. And the mash bill is MGP's high rye mash bill with 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. And the MSRP on this one is $32.
Oh, so not terribly expensive.
And I actually got this on sale for I think it was like $27.
Oh, nice.
Something like that. It was in the mid-20s.
What a good deal.
Yeah.
That is a good deal.
So I like the bottle. I'm looking at it. It's got like a root beer bottle looking, just like a...
I think the design matches the year on the front.
Yeah.
It feels very old.
Very old school whiskey bottle. It's
really dark.
It's black. It's tinted like all throughout the thing, so you can't really see what's in it, how much is in it. First, I thought the bottle was filled all the way to the top when I first saw it, but then I realized that was just the color of the bottle. It's got a synthetic cork. I've noticed that bourbon is big on history. We've had our Jefferson, we've had our all of our old man bourbons, right, with people's faces on them and all that kind of stuff.
But of course,
right. And this one is 1776. So going back to our founding fathers here.
Was James E. Pepper one of the founding fathers?
You know what? Actually, I can tell you that right now. I don't think he was on the Declaration of Independence, but this was born with the Republic.
Okay.
Established in 1780 during the American Revolution, the Pepper family brand is the oldest brand of whiskey made in Kentucky. But didn't we say this wasn't made in Kentucky?
Yes.
Lie.
Lies. All lies.
Is that a -1?
The brand was fondly called Old 1776 by its scion. You know what a scion is?
The car company?
I'd say I had a car. A scion. The Colonel James E. Pepper. This fine whiskey was hand bottled in the historic Pepper Distillery in Lexington and made with pure limestone filtered water. So yeah, no, it is a cool place though. Like I do like the bottle. It's a good looking bottle. We've Stephen and I have visited the tasting room of James E. Pepper. It's been several years ago. It's been several years now.
That must have been right when they opened then.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean,
I think it was because we ate close by and we walked by it and it was open. So I think, it's new. Let's go check it out.
So it's pretty cool down there, right? Like, you guys have ever been down there to like Goodfellas, the pizza place?
This is the distillery district.
In the distillery district here in Lexington. And there's several bars, several, couple breweries and a couple music venues.
The Burrell's down there, right?
Burrell, Manchester Music Hall, so there's it's like some wedding reception places and, so it's a pretty cool place. So I think this is one of 3 distilleries down there, but this is the only real distillery, I think,
Yeah, I think the other one, Barrel House, they put out Rock Castle.
I guess they do all their stuff there.
They do.
It's a really, really tiny
But they put out
operation.
small amounts of stuff, and I don't think it's available nationwide. I think this stuff has more of a reach. Yeah.
So, and then there's William M. Tarr is down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. I think they're just like a storefront, but they call themselves a distillery. But,
they've got 15-year-old bourbon.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
They do. Yeah, and an old man on their pictures. So
he's got a nice mustache.
So that makes it a real bourbon.
He has a beautiful mustache.
An old white man on it that makes it a real bourbon, right?
Yeah.
But no, this place is. They actually took the old. I guess they revitalized the old distillery. I guess.
So the actual building.
Well, I think they moved it. Like I think because if you go in the pizza place, I think that was actually the old velodromes. What's that thing called when you?
Yeah, the big gold thing.
Big gold thing.
They put the liquids in.
Velodromes, what they ride bikes in the Olympics. So
I think so. Well, it can be both, right?
Whatever. So anyway, they moved it all around in there, but it's still pretty cool. And they took an old warehouse, like an old pepper warehouse, and they've turned that into axe throwing and.
Oh, that warehouse is the.
Yeah, that was a warehouse.
I did not realize that.
If you look at it, it's a.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that was their warehouse, or at least one of their warehouses.
Did they have the Beatles cover band, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart? Never mind.
You know what? They should have.
I'm an idiot.
They should have.
When we were in there, everything I say.
I would just ignore it and keep talking.
There you go.
So we went in there and we tried a couple things of theirs at that time. We probably tried this. I'm not sure if we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
And then we tried a couple different ryes.
Really, I thought the cask rye was really good there.
So we tried to get a little information from them. I think when I asked her, I think now they age all their stuff at Castle and Key, maybe, or one of the Jim Beam places in Frankfurt, something like that.
Somewhere that has a storage makes sense,
They don't do it where they do it, their distillery at. But so I'm excited to try it. I mean, I'm just interested to find out. We said this was MGP. I'm interested to find out when they're going to start actually doing their own stuff because this said this was aged 3 years, but I know they've been downtown for more than 3 years. So, I wonder when they're going to start, putting their own stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of the other locals doing that, so
right.
You'd think they would be close.
Should we go for our first notes?
Sounds good. This has got some kind of nose on it, and so for bourbon-wise, I would say it's some kind of a sharp wood type of a nose. But if I took my bourbon hat off, I would say it's some kind of epoxy or paint thinner, but that's not very kind. So, but that's what I'm smelling.
Yeah, there's definitely a sharp note of some sort. The paint thinner is a good one, but we got to open this bottle, and it's breathed a little bit since we first opened it.
Yeah,
I'm actually starting to pick up some things.
Okay.
By the way, you guys should have seen us trying to open this bottle before the episode.
The plastic was not perfect.
They really put the cellophane wrapping on that thing.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a slot to separate it from the rest of the bottle, so you had to take some keys to it and some other things. I actually think we had it down on the floor and ripping at it.
There's probably a lot of bottles that are like that because people don't open them anyway.
Yeah,
so
there you go, right?
Just go ahead and wrap them up tight because everyone's going to figure out everyone's never going to open it anyway.
So what are you picking up? That
I'm actually getting some caramel, vanilla, and chocolate.
Got the chocolate. As it breathes, it is getting a little bit more aromatic. I mean, right out of the bottle, it was very harsh.
Yeah, I think that harshness kind of went away just a little bit.
Yep.
This might be one of those bottles you might have to let breathe.
Yep. And we do, just so you guys know, we let these things go usually 10 minutes or more, sometimes 15, sometimes longer than that before we drink them. So,
and sometimes we just drink pot still before we start. And
yeah,
that makes everything taste better.
Mm-hmm. Oof. There you go.
By the way, Halloween party on the Mashup Street for unlimited pot still.
There you go.
Come get you some. Every kid walks away with a fifth of it.
A very merry Halloween.
Next year we won't have anybody come on the street.
Yeah.
Clear it out.
Yep.
That was a nice gesture of them to provide bourbon, but I'm not satisfied.
That's the worst bourbon I've ever had. So we're not going down that street again.
Hopefully they don't bring it back and return it.
Oh my God.
No.
Well, should we go for our first taste?
Yeah. Well, it's not great. It's not horrifying.
That's a good way of putting it.
It's serviceable. It's got some bourbon flavors. It's got a lot of. It's very sharp still. I'm falling.
It's
sharp,
harsh.
Yeah.
It kind of goes. There's a small hug, but then it kind of just disappears real quick. It leaves a little weird aftertaste.
You guys know right now, a lot of the craze is having like 4, 5, and 6-year-old MGP because a lot of the older stuff has dried up. So I'm wondering if maybe this is, I'm not catching some of the things I dislike about the stuff that I've tried before, but I'm not overly thrilled with what I'm tasting here.
Well, let's remember this is 3 years.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the older ones are more sought after, but this one's not. It's okay.
Being one of a higher rye blend, would this be a good just mixer? I know it's kind of expensive, I guess, to mix, but
Not necessarily.
I mean, at 27 or 8,
well, I know, but I got it on sale though at $32 or whatever the MSRP is.
Yeah,
but you kind of hate to mix that. You can go a lot lower.
Oh, it's just go sit there if you don't. So
what are we getting from this? Because I actually get like some strange flavors that I'm not used to. Like some citrus fruits, but not even really citrus. It's like a pear almost. And a little bit of sharp oak, a little bit of caramel, and just the finish is very medium to nothing on it. Oh,
I chewed it. I'm really not getting nothing from it.
You're getting nothing?
Yeah, I really can't pick out anything.
No, maybe that's a signature of something.
I know chewing it really got in my mouth.
How about some pepper? Did you get some pepper?
Okay, pepper? Well, white pepper maybe. A little white pepper.
On the back end?
I mean, it is James E. Pepper.
No, but the rye spiciness does produce a little bit of like a white pepper flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of faint, but it's there. Spiciness. So, you know how we've tasted ryes previously where they got like a lot of, you can tell you're drinking a rye. I know this is not rye, but it's a high rye bourbon. And some of those high rye bourbons, we could taste the rye. And this one, it's kind of interesting.
So, gentlemen, would you pass, try, or buy on the James E. Pepper 1776 bourbon?
All right, so I want to buy. Like, I really want to buy it.
Just to support it?
I've always wanted to buy it. Because this is like, I mean, I know people say we're in Kentucky and we live in Lexington, so we're in the heart of bourbon country. But this is the only real, like, distributed nationwide bourbon that we have here in Lexington.
What's Town Branch?
Oh, well, that's true. Town Branch is but that's like a high end bourbon. So,
okay.
I mean, this is one that everybody can get. No, but you're right. Other than Town Branch, you know, because Buffalo Trace is 20 miles out. Woodford Reserve's 20 miles out. Maker's Mark's 40 miles out. So,
yeah, it's all regional, but
it's all regional. It's all really, really close. But this one is actually in our town. And so I want to like it. But I mean, whatever this is they've got right now going for them, I just don't. I got to pass. I would like to try the rye though.
How do we feel if this was like a 6-year-old bottle? Do we feel like something would maybe happen, or is it still even? We're not even getting any sort of resemblance of enjoyment out of this.
I want to say I think so, just based on the other things I've tried that are MGP distilled, but I don't really know. I mean, because I don't know. That's a big mystery right now as to who's getting the best barrels and why they're privileged and so forth. So I don't know if they just grabbed some barrels that were available and didn't get the cherry stock or what.
Well, I think I am going to pass on this bottle because at the MSRP at 32, I really didn't enjoy drinking it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like Michael. I want to like this, and I think we'll do the if we can get our hands on it, maybe the cask rye that they have. I think I remember really enjoying that bottle, but it's been several years now, so I don't know.
I'm in agreement with both of you guys, especially on the wanting to like it. I mean, there's nothing more than I like to support local Lexington stuff, right? Whether it's a restaurant that makes really good food or distillery or a brewery or whatever. I mean, even at Town Branch, I heard recently that they've changed master distillers again. Did you guys hear that?
I didn't know they had one in the first place.
Well, I think Town Branch has done like I think they're maybe on their third or fourth master distiller.
You mean that's not a destination job? That's weird.
Well, there's a good example, right? I love their beer, right? I'm a big fan of their beer, the Bourbon Barrel Ale and stuff like that. And that's got worldwide reach. Their bourbon hasn't followed the same way. And so I had high hopes for something like James Pepper. This might be their entry-level product, but I feel like, tasted their rye at some point, like you're saying, and I really like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was stuff they distilled or if they pulled MGP rye.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, let's compare this to the other, 2 or 3 year old bourbons that we've had.
Yeah.
We had
that Spirits of French Lick.
The French
which
Lick.
I would take that over this.
Okay.
I mean, we had Bluegrass Distillers, which I would
Okay.
I would take that over this too.
So but those are more money than this. Those are craft.
Well, I mean, this is supposedly. I mean, I know that they're sourcing it, but they're starting off as like a craft. I mean, before we get too far into that, though, I just want to say that I was going to be a try, but I'm leaning more toward pass because there's nothing super memorable about this.
Exactly.
So I hate to say it just because they're local, but I do think I'm
like pass. you could say like try if the nosing or something of the palate was kind of keeping you engaged.
Yeah.
But neither one's really keep me engaged on this.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm glad that we, so we all agree that we probably would pass on this, right? But, this is a fairly cheap bottle, $27 to $35, whatever we said. All right, I'm just glad that we're trying it. It's a nationally, available bottle, right? I mean, to my knowledge, it's probably not allocated, and you can probably get it pretty much anywhere. So, shout out to the Mashup for reviewing something that people can get. I get so tired. I don't even listen to other bourbon podcasts anymore. But I just see their Instagram posts or their Facebook posts or their Twitter posts or whatever, and they're over here reviewing bottles that nobody will ever get their hands on. Oh, look, we're going to review the latest BTAC. Oh, good. Well, good. Go for it. Good job.
If Buffalo Trace ever put us on the media list and sent us BTAC, I feel like I don't know. We would probably just have to drink that and have a good time with it. Not review it, right? Just hang out and have a good time.
It's probably going to be good. So whatever.
It's going to be good. It's going to be
that's
good.
That's fine. Like
we're
whatever.
going to review it and say, "Oh, this is pretty mediocre."
Well, I'm going to have to go get one of those next time I'm out.
Let me compare it to something I've never tasted before. Okay, great.
Which, by the way, just the next time I'm out, this reminds me of a story when I saw it at Total Wine the other day. Okay.
Oh.
So there's this guy, and I guess it's Keeneland's going on, football.
I was at Keeneland last weekend.
All the stuff. Yeah. So, it just brings out I call them foreigners, but, the people from not around here, and
the visitors.
Yes, the others. And they come to Total Wine, and they're looking around, and, I mean, they're filling their carts with just crap. I mean, just all the bottles. Good. Take all the bottles that nobody here wants. You're excited about your Nulu picks and all that other Starlight Distillery picks and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it. Take those. I've been sitting here for 6 months and nobody's bought one. So go ahead, buy one. So anyway, this one guy comes in and he asks the Total Wine guy, he's like, do you have any George T. Stagg or Stagg Jr.?
Okay. Oh, sir, it's right over here.
That's
right next to the
We've been waiting for you to come here and ask for that.
To work at Total Wine, you've got to have a basic knowledge of,
Oh, wait, they didn't know what he's talking about?
All right, so compare it to like when I worked at Walden Books in the mall.
And they came and asked for Stagg?
And people would come in and ask for books. Okay. Like by a certain, I had no knowledge of any books, like I had no, so, I just walk in. Luckily, Walden Books is 3 aisles, so I'd walk them up and down an aisle a couple times and they'd find it before I did. And that's like, oh, there you go. Have a good day.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this guy, he asked this guy that's like stocking shelves, and the guy's like, well, let me check online for you. So
let me check online.
So he gets on there and he goes, he says, the Stagg Jr., he goes, it looks like we had it, but it looks like it's not available right now, but it should be back in stock soon.
Oh, like, come on.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And the George T. Stagg, he goes, oh yeah, that's one that looks like we have to release on lottery or something. So he was right on it, but he didn't have any idea about that.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh good. So this guy's going to come back in 2 weeks wondering when the Stagg Jr. is going to be back out because you said it was going to be out soon.
He's taking a plane coming back to Kentucky. I
felt like walking up to the guy and be like, dude, don't come back. You're never going to get it. They're all on lottery. And
I was going to say a Stagg Jr. would be in a lottery bottle.
Yeah.
And they probably do
have
put it in now.
Honestly, they probably do have it in stock if you go back there because they just keep it all
hoard
right
it.
there. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but not for sale, I guess.
When's somebody going to just run the back room of Total Wine and just ransack the place? Maybe I just
That's
let
a good idea.
my dark secret go
I want to
there.
know what the back room is like, because there was one Saturday morning I went up there and I grabbed, it was back before COVID, and they were just putting things out on Saturday mornings, like Blanton's and Special Reserve and Weller Special Reserve and all that kind of stuff. And I grabbed a McKenna, and I mean that thing was 40 degrees. Like, where were they? Were they keeping this in the beer cooler? Like, I didn't understand. Like, what's the back room look like back there? Is it a meat locker too? They share that with the Whole Foods next door. Like, I don't understand. At Liquor Barn, they had like a Makers, like a UK Makers that was like 10 years old, and they had just put it out like one day. Liquor Barn was like moving. I think they were moving locations, and I think it might have been one in Louisville, but they were moving. And so one Saturday they put out like a UK and Maker's Mark put out their yearly bottles of with like Coach Cal's picture or Coach Stoops' picture or whatever on them, and they put one out that was like 10 years old one day, and it was like I guess when they were moving they just found it in the back, and it's just like, oh, okay, let's just put this out then.
Wow, a 10-year-old Makers?
Yeah, I mean it was 10 years.
10 years.
Like, I mean,
since it was
the
released.
bottle was 10 years old.
Yeah,
okay.
It was because it was one of those special releases,
I gotcha.
and
Well, even now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Total Wine had a grand opening Louisville Jack Daniels pick. Did you guys see that when you're in there?
No, I
at
didn't
all?
see that. They haven't opened a location though, have they?
Well, they had open. They're in Louisville.
Yeah, but I mean they haven't opened one in several years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So it's been like probably 4 or 5 years, I think.
Right.
And so they have a bottle in the Lexington Total Wine right now that is a Jack Daniels pick that says grand opening Louisville. So where did they find that at?
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. And a friend told me about that one. And I was like, they're like, you know anything about this? I'm like, I don't know.
Something tells me it's not a hot item.
Yeah,
though.
it can't be hot if it's just sitting there. But who knows?
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comment.
You gotta save that. That's how that episode should end.
Keep it neat.